Welcome back to the Two Blues podcast and to another live match reaction from a Chelsea win, our home Chelsea win. We are back in the top four secure. We're back above Man City. We are back. I'm telling you people, these 4 games were crucial, the deciding games to our season. 2 games against Copenhagen, 2 in the league against Southampton and Leicester that we needed to win. And yes, today, again, how many times have I said in the last 4 or 5 weeks, far from a perfect performance, a lot to be desired. But you know what? As Stephen said in the comments, that just 3 points. That's all that matters. There are some games where all that matters is the result. And today was one of those games. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Let me know who your man of the match was and what your thoughts were on today's game. As I said, man, look, it's one of those where I don't want to look too much into it because clean sheet, 3 points. All that mattered today was that we won. All that mattered, we could have come out and won 4-5-0 today. It would have been fantastic. But at the same time, the most important thing was the 3 points. The fact that we have come out with 3 points, massive, back in the top 4, back above Man City. You know, people were saying yesterday, that result, Nottingham Forest, they're going to be the ones that do us for Champions League football. Hudson-Odoi taking us out of Champions League football. We're calm. That result was better than Man City winning yesterday. We are in a good position. I know we've got difficult games to play. We've got difficult teams to go and play, but we are in a very good position going into this run-in. And I am very, very content with where this Chelsea team is right now. I think when you look at it, as a season as a whole, I think where we expected us to be, where we thought we might be, I think Chelsea are doing it. I haven't got any complaints. And yes, again, today was a little bit slow in times, was a little bit in parts, not the most exciting game, not the most illuminating performance from a lot of those Chelsea players. But at the same time, they got the job done. If you go through them, player on player, Robert Sanchez again, touch and go. Even when this guy has a good performance, even when this guy has a clean sheet, doesn't look like he deserves it. And today, I mean, one of those where I'm like, it could have gone either way. A couple of times where he jumped out to collect balls that he had no right to go and collect. A couple of decisions he made, and he didn't really have the kind of saves to back him up and to say that, he justified the mistakes he made. Again, no idea why he played over Jorgensen today. Not convinced by Sanchez. The back 4, though, I thought did exceptionally well. I thought, given the circumstances, very, very few chances let in. I know Leicester are poor, but at the same time, it's never going to be as easy as it looks on paper. Vardy, Daka, Buonanotte, they've got players in there that can create something, that can make something happen. And this Chelsea back 4 is far from a confident, a set back 4. So, I expected a few more chances to be let through today, but I think Colwill and Adebayo, fairly solid partnership in the back 4. Obviously, Kukureya scored the goal. Solid performance from him again today. And Fofana, coming into that right back. I don't know what it is with Chelsea using centre-backs at right back and pushing players out to that position. Obviously, we saw it with Disasi earlier in the year. But, now with Wes Fofana, it's a position he has played for Chelsea a couple of times, but I looked at the team sheet and I'm thinking, obviously we didn't expect Gusto to play. I personally didn't think James would play, given that we're managing his minutes. But the fact that he was out with a fever meant that we were shoehorning in a player that wasn't an out and out, a traditional right back into that role. And it seems to be an area that, even though Chelsea have 2 of the best out and out right backs in the Premier League, and Reece James and Malo Gusto, it seems very rare that one of them features as an out-and-out right-back. And again today, a bit of an unorthodox situation at the back, but I thought Fofana coming in, after a long time out with injury, I thought he was very solid again tonight. I felt like we have missed Fofana. I feel like out of all the centre-back partnerships that we've tried this season, Colwill on the left, Fofana on the right, that's the one that works. That's the one I like. Yeah, for me at the moment, I think that one's got the most legs, the most longevity. But they were helped, that back four today, by a superb performance in centre midfield by both Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo with yet another man of the match performance. I think Moises Caicedo, his performances have gone under the radar so often this season. But today you can't deny him. You cannot not give him his flowers. I think the importance of what he did today. Just a quick fix up of the camera. Hold on. I think what he did today showed us just how important he is. And in terms of his consistency, there are certain players. I think Ryan Gravenberch has been exceptional this season for Liverpool. I think he's up there with one of the best centre mids in the league. But Moises Caicedo, top 5 consistent performers in his position this year in the world. Best player in the Premier League in his position by far. I think the what he does, I mean, it's an underappreciated role, playing the defensive midfield role, because a lot of what you do, you don't get the goals, you don't get the assists, you don't get the headlines that those attacking, those creative players do. But I think Moises Caicedo is so consistently important and good and integral to this Chelsea team that it's just one of those where I can't imagine a Chelsea team without him right now. I think out of all the players that you're picking, he's one of the first on the team sheet. Yeah, there's nothing that Moises Caicedo doesn't do, and I think he's so underrated. I know he went for a world record transfer fee. There's so much hype around him that it's difficult to say this guy is underrated. It goes under the radar. His performances, unbelievable. Honestly, genuinely, such a good player, and someone that we need to treasure at Chelsea. The fact that he's on 9 yellow cards. Luckily, he's going to be able to play Arsenal, but yeah, he's getting scrutinised by referees. A lot of the tackles he makes are pulled up for fouls when he wins the ball, but some of the tackles he made in there today, at 2-1 up, so important. So important. And Enzo Fernandez alongside him, I think he's really come into his own in the last few weeks. I mean, we've seen him in an array of positions while he's been at Chelsea. Ever since he's been at the club, he's played as a 5 or 6. He's played further up. He's played as a second striker under Pochettino, which was arguably his most ineffectual role, his most pointless role. But I think Enzo Fernandez, he's becoming more of a complete centre midfielder, more of that box to box. I mean, we've seen that, arriving in the box, late runs, getting onto late balls, being in the right place at the right time. That Lampard-esque aspect of his game that he's kind of added. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying he needs to add goals, add assists to his game to be more effective. He's done that. He's done that last few weeks. I mean, he has become a very important player in this Chelsea role, and he's also a leader. You look at this Chelsea side, extremely young. You've got Reece James, the captain, on and off the pitch. But aside from that, I mean, you've got Tosin in terms of the experience. Players like Enzo, Caicedo, big leaders in this squad. They might be young. They might not have the experience that you would want from a title-winning side, a title-challenging side. But at the same time, I think they've got the mentality. And Enzo Fernandez, you can see it when he scores, when he celebrates. Yeah, I think a very, very good player. And he's one of those that's, we just need to continue nurturing him, continue fostering this development, this improvement in his game. I think Enzo Maresca has undoubtedly made Enzo Fernandez a more complete midfielder. And we are not seeing the same, deep lying playmaker role from him. We are not seeing the same distribution from him. I do feel that. I do think that, in a 90 minutes, he's completing less passes. He's getting less attacks started from deep. But at the same time, he's more of a threat in the final third. These are trade-offs that we are willing to make. And while he is exceptional in certain attributes of his game, if he becomes a more rounded individual all round, I'm not going to sit here and complain that, he's not pinging those 40, 50-yard passes from deep, because he's scoring and he's getting on the end of them and he's contributing to our attacking output in the final third. This is, is something that I'm more than happy to see in terms of his development as an individual. So, yeah. Very, very good. And yeah, obviously good performances good appearances from, Tyreek George, Achimpong as well coming on. I think this Chelsea side is is not back in form per se, because it's been a bit of a slog. You know, considering it has been Southampton and Leicester, no one's getting carried away. No one's sitting here and going, oh, yeah, we're back. We're going to challenge. Da, da, da. But we are in a good position for top four. The last three performances, while they may not have been perfect, we've got the points. We've got the wins. 6 points on the board in the Premier League. One win away from home against Copenhagen in the Europa Conference League. We've got one more game to get through to the quarterfinals, and we're very well placed in the top four right now. So I don't think that we have cause for concern right now. I think you look at this Chelsea team and where we were expecting us to be, where we were hoping us to be at the end of the season. Top four and Europa Conference League was, the expectation. Maybe a domestic cup in there if we were lucky. Unfortunately, we've fallen short on the latter, but the first two, we're very, very much still on target. And I do feel like this Chelsea side is in a far more positive position than we were this time last season. And I do feel like we have developed, we have grown. These youngsters are improving, are getting better. And a game like today is a game that we probably would have thrown away 2-3 months ago. Not just under Pochettino. A couple of months ago, we would have been a lot more worried. But I was eerily more secure today than I have been in a while. Even just 1-0 up, even though that we should have extended that lead, and obviously Palmer, still not that guy. I feel like we did better today, and we are far closer to where I want to be than a lot of these Chelsea fans think. And, considering 2-3 weeks ago, we were going through a protest against Southampton, there were fans saying that we need these owners out. I feel like this Chelsea side, Chelsea fans as a whole, we know are flippant, but I feel like we're a lot better off than a lot of these Chelsea fans make out. So today, look, we'll take it as it comes. We're not going to get, again, overly excited about winning over Southampton and Leicester, but at the same time, it was a hard-fought win today, and this Chelsea side might not have done that in multiple game weeks this season. So you know what? Under 21s won on Friday. Under 18s won yesterday. First team won today. I'm pretty sure the women's team won as well. When was the last time we could celebrate 4 wins out of 4 or 3 wins out of 3 for the Chelsea men's? Listen, man, I'm enjoying the rest of our weekend. I'm going to go away and watch Arsenal Man United. Excellent game from the neutral perspective. Brilliant hate watch to go on. I'm not mad. I'm thinking this club's in a positive position at this point compared to a lot of weekends this season. You know what it is, man. I'm not going to sit here and look. This Chelsea side, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This Chelsea side is not going to get back to this exciting football till Nicholas Jackson comes back into this side. We're missing a number 9, and Kunku showed us today. He ain't that guy. He ain't that number 9. Nicholas Jackson, still integral to this Chelsea side. But until we get back, I'm not going to sit here and moan about 3 points on the board, about another clean sheet. It might have been a bore fest. The first couple of games under Thomas Tuchel were pretty fucking boring, but we got clean sheets, points on the board. That's what we needed to do. Maybe Maresca's realised all too late that we need to just focus on the basics. But you know what? We still got a fair part of the season to go. 1/3 of the season to go. Chelsea have won 3 on the bounce. If we can win against Copenhagen in midweek on Thursday, in the quarterfinal of the Conference League, 4 wins on the bounce, 2 in the league. Going into that game against Arsenal before the international break, I'll be feeling our chances. If they don't have Saka back, it's going to be an interesting hate watch today. But that Arsenal game, eyes on. It's up to us to fuck their career, fuck their whole season. If we go out and win against Arsenal, bearing in mind we've got very little to play for, we could go out and secure top 4 and ruin Arsenal's title hopes in a single weekend. Take my money. Take every single thing I own for Arsenal to fumble this weekend. Yeah, you know what it is, man. You know what it is. We already know what's going to happen. You don't have to take anything on mine. We already know what's going to happen. It's in the history of Arsenal. And Liverpool, they might have the referees in their pockets, but I ain't going to complain. If they're winning the league over Arsenal, I ain't going to sit here and moan. You know what it is, man. Wait for the short coming soon at Two Blues Podcast on the Instagram and the TikTok. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're going to jump off to give you, man, a little bit of time to go and watch your Arsenal find your Arsenal Manchester United stream. But Before then, you know what it is. Make sure to support. If you have been supporting Stephen, everyone else in the chat, big up yourself. Two Blues podcast on the YouTube. You know what it is. We'll be back with more content. I'm going to chopping it up with Charms later this afternoon. It's been 2 weeks in the making. I'm going to drop it this afternoon. But other than that, we're going to be back for Two Blues Tuesday night, 6:30 for the weekly live stream talking everything football. You know what it is. Big up yourselves. Up the Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. Come on.